So welcome to I'm Fiona, I'm your Taubmans colour specialist. Welcome to our last live colour event for this year. So, which is a little bit sad, but we're going to be coming back next year with bigger and better. So I'm really excited about that. But we do hope that you have found our sessions useful and you've actually got some good information, and we hope that we've helped you with your colour queries along the way. So, and also to let you know that they're all online, so you can replay if you're wanting to know anything why we break. However, tonight's session we are going to focus on front doors, and we are talking all about exterior, but as we go along, please do, I will be on screen for the next half an hour, as long as we don't have any more technical difficulties. So please do upload any questions that you may have. It doesn't matter whether you're wanting to know something about interior or exterior, or if you'd really like to know something about our fantastic portfolio of products that we have available to beautify your home. So we also, I should let you know, we are also running a competition. And for more details, if you hop onto our Facebook page when we're finished streaming, you can see it's pinned to the top. It's a competition running until December the 31st, where you have the opportunity to win one of 50 $1,000 prizes. So to be in the, or for a chance to win, what you do need to do is to purchase our premium products, and now I'll go through the range for you. So if you purchase 4 litres or more of Taubmans Endure, Taubmans All Weather, Taubmans 3-in-1, or our Taubmans Enamels, it's going to put you in the running. So, and as I said, if you have a look at our Facebook page, it's pinned to the top and it will tell you exactly how you can enter. So go and visit that once we finish. Look, one of the products included in the competition is Taubmans water-based enamel, and look, that's a fantastic product that sort of goes in line with what we're talking about tonight, being exterior doors. And I'll give you a little tip now, what I really love when using this enamel, and I love the fact that if you're going to add some colour to your front door, and you know, I like to say add a little bit of personality, it looks fantastic if you gloss it up. So very quickly here, let's hope you can see that. You can see that perfectly. You can see I've got a red colour chip, and on one side I have put some clear sticky tape. Now this emulates what a gloss finish will look like. So if you're looking at a colour and you grab yourself a sample pot, because we know sample pots are in low sheen, once it's dried, you can certainly do what I have done here by placing some tape over, and it's going to show you how your colour's going to look when it's glossed up. There is nothing more beautiful than a glossed up front door, especially when you're using sort of bright colours. Now the other thing you can do as well when you are in store is if you have a look at one of these, it's called All About the Sheen, and it's going to show you as well the different sheen levels. So you've got your gloss, semi-gloss, etc. These are really, really good when we're talking about colours and different finishes available. Now, the other thing that I'm going to mention while we're on product as well, before we delve into creating some colours, etc., is a lot of colours and a lot of bright colours, they do stipulate that you need a tinted undercoat. So if you do go into store, or if you've created your own colour and you've made something certainly very bold and beautiful to sort of adorn your front door with, sometimes they'll say to you, look, you need a tinted undercoat, and that's a grey undercoat, and it varies from a tinted undercoat 1 to 5, and that's a varying shade of grey, if you like, going from lighter to dark. Now, the reason that you need that is so that it really does intensify your colour. So here's something that I have prepared earlier, and if you've been following, you'll see that I've used this before. This is just a great way to show you. Now, I'm going to pop that up here. Now, on the side here, on this side here, it's on the bottom, it's the same colour, but it's the colour being put over a white undercoat, and then the colour being put under a grey undercoat. Now this is the bottom colour here where I'm tapping. That's the outcome that we're wanting when we're using this sort of depth of colour. And so that just shows you the importance of a grey undercoat and what you can achieve when we're talking about colour. Because the last thing you want to do is pick a beautiful, beautiful colour and it's telling you that, you know, you need a tinted undercoat, and you go, oh, look, I'm not going to worry about that. And then, look, honestly, you're going to be disappointed with how your colour's going to turn out. So that's another little tip for you. So I guess the next thing I'm going to tell you before we go into the colour side is that most front doors, if we're talking about buying something from one of our hardware stores, a lot of them, unless you're buying a beautiful timber door where you're just going to put a clear finish or something, most of them come pre-primed. Now, the primer, or the way that they are pre-primed, is generally for transportation purposes. So when it comes to painting, we always recommend putting an undercoat over that first and then doing your 2 coats of a top coat. And so, you know, as I was talking about before with our fantastic competition that we have going on at the moment, Taubmans 3-in-1 is one of the products that is within our suite of products for the competition. But the 3-in-1 is something that I would recommend you use on your door first before you go and put your top coat on, even if it does say that it is pre-primed. Okay, so now let's start to talk about colour. Now, painting up a front door, this is where you can really express yourself, but there's a few things that I like to take into consideration when I'm looking to help somebody on their journey to, you know, colouring up their front door, so to speak. So things that are really, really important, and you'll see that I do have a list in front of me so that it keeps me on track. It's important to understand the style of your home. Like, sometimes the style will dictate the colour choices, and it's going to help to guide you. So, you know, if you've got sort of a Federation style home, etc., possibly, and you're using, let's say, you know, a Federation colour scheme or something along those lines, possibly a bright sort of vivid out there front door is not really going to fit with the period or the style of your home. So that's an example of what I'm talking about. The other thing you need to think about is, what are we working with? So what is the house? What are the substrates on the house? How many other colours do we have to take into consideration when we talk about colouring up our front door? And things, what else have I got written here? You know, are you coastal? Are you in the bush? They're just things that can help you or guide you, I guess, when you go to select your colour. You know, another thing as well, do you prefer a light or a dark tone? Is the door old or is the door new? And we'll get to that in a moment. Is it in direct sun? Is it well protected? So if the door is new, you may have some stipulations around colour so that you don't void a warranty. So reason being, dark colours attract heat, which can tend to make new timber doors that are being painted and that are exposed or out in direct sun, etc., can make them warp. So that's something to consider. And so, you know, I guess you're probably thinking, well, how do I know if my colour's too dark? I'm glad you're thinking that, because here's the answer. All colours have an LRV, and we call that a light reflectance value, which means the portion of light reflected versus light absorbed. So the lighter the colour is, the more light will reflect. The darker the colour is, the more heat is absorbed. So let's give you an example. Taubmans All Black has an LRV of 5. Taubmans Brilliant White has an LRV of 91. So some door manufacturers, they want 50 or above. So they're wanting you to have a lighter toned colour so that it's not going to void warranty. So it's going to, if you like, it's going to stop their door warping, etc. So that's something to consider if you're doing a new front door. Look, a lot of people, and the trend seems to be doing dark, bright, bold front doors. And if you're not in direct sun, if you're covered by a portico, etc., a lot of that isn't as crucial. So what else have I got written here? All right, so I was in a hardware store, as I am quite often, frequently looking around a colour wall and helping consumers with colour, which is something I absolutely love doing. And I had a lovely lady who had a photo of her home, which is a brick home, and she was standing there with her phone in the photo there, and she's looking at the colour wall and she's trying to decipher which sort of colour would work with what she has. And so I said to her, you know, look, I'm happy to help you, and we had a great conversation around colour, and we nutted out what she wanted, and she wanted some colour. She said, look, I don't really want my front door to sort of just sit there quietly. I'm happy to have something that's, you know, bright, or that says sort of, you know, like, hello, I'm here, here's my front door, etc. And I said, no worries. And so we stood there and we had a look. And to be honest, the best way that I could help her then and there was I encouraged her to download what is called our Colorsmith app. And I navigated the way through the app with the lady and showed her how she could create her own colours. So that's what I want to do tonight. I want to show you how from an image of brickwork you can pick and choose, create some colors, and then I'm going to show you how you can, from the same color that you have created, how you can lessen the intensity, also heighten the intensity, and then I'm going to show you another function of the app, which is how you can create combination colors. So, you know, ordinarily, I guess you could say when you work with color, and we're talking about working out what's going to work with a substrate or an existing color, you know, you could look to a color wheel, for example, something like I have. Let's have a look here. Something like I have here. I'm just going to pop it onto a color. So, you know, for example, if you've got an orange toned, can we see that there? Yeah, if you've got an orange toned brick, you know, you can work with what goes opposite on the color wheel. So we've got blue. So we know that the opposite to orange is blue. So therefore we know that picking sort of a blue tone is going to be safe and it's going to work. So, but not everybody has a color wheel in there, well, at their disposal, let's say. And certainly not when you're shopping for color. So I want to show you how you can create your own color. And then I'm also going to show you, because I think if we're talking about doing front doors, there's something else that you can do. And I am a big lover of looking to nature for inspiration. And for me, I'm going to create a beautiful green for my front door. And I've surrounded, or my husband has, I shouldn't say I have. My husband has surrounded our front door and our renovation with some beautiful green leafy plants, some frangipanis, some philodendron hopes, which has got the most beautiful green leaves. So I'm going to draw my inspiration from that to create a color to put on my front door. So I'm going to hop off the screen now and pop you onto my app. Actually, what I might do first of all is I will take you to my laptop quickly, and I'll pop myself up in the corner. Awesome, that worked. Okay. So, just so you can see what we've done here, I have just drawn up a very basic drawing of a front door surrounded by some quite mottly bricks. So there's a lot of tones in the brick. And what I have literally done with Colorsmith, and I'm going to show you how I did that in a moment. And if you can see my mouse on the screen here, the color that I have created on this front door has been extracted from that brick there. Again here, this beautiful sort of purpley tone has been extracted from this brick here. You can see here this, it's almost a caramelly sort of tone I've taken out of the brickwork here. And this is a very, very soft blue, which I've taken out of here. And then lastly, I've got a deeper blue because in the brickwork here, there's quite a lot of, it's a deep sort of blue glass that's sitting in there. So I'm just showing you, so from this brickwork here, I have created 5 colors. So that is how easy that was. So I've got 5 colors there that are going to work as potential front door colors. Maybe I should quickly show you. Here we go. I'll take you this and then I'll take you through how I did it. And then on this screen here, there are the 5 colors again that we had, that I have extracted or created from the brickwork. And then what I've done here is I have lessened the intensity. So this color here, I've lessened the intensity, and this whole row here is the color above being lessened. And then as we go down below, I have heightened the intensity. So you can see what I've done here. So I've got 15, let's say, colors here created from the brickwork. So, and to give you, or to talk further about the lovely lady that I was assisting in store. So she was really blown away with how she could create colours. And look, it's amazing. Like, Colorsmith is an amazing concept. It gives, I'll come back on screen and then we'll go and have a look at what I've created. Colorsmith is, as I said, it is an amazing tool. It gives you the ability to create your own bespoke colours. You get to name them. You can heighten the intensity, lessen the intensity. I can't talk highly enough of it. So what I'm going to do is pop you over to the iPad, put myself back up in the corner. Wonderful, something's working. Now let's have a look here and I'll show you how I did this. So I'm going to tap on Colorsmith. There are many ways that you can create colour using the Colorsmith app. The first thing is to download the app. You can download that from Google Play or the App Store. It's called Colorsmith by Taubmans. And then you can go create from match. Now you can actually take a photo then and there. You can take photos out of your photo library that already exists. You can use the Colorsmith window or the Colorsmith reader, but for tonight we're actually going to take a photo out of the photo library. So I'll go into the photo library here. Here we go. There's the brick. So now if you look at the band of colour that just sits, so you'll see Colorsmith, then you'll see tap to create colour, and then you'll see a solid dark band of colour. If you watch that, as I move the eye up and down the brickwork, you will see that band change in colour. So here we go. Here's the beautiful soft blue that I created before. Here's the deep blue that we created. And as a tanny sort of caramel colour. And then beautiful sort of dusty, a dusty mauve sort of tone. And then again, if we go over into, where was the other one that I had? A lighter sort of version of a sort of a purpley sort of tone. So they're just some of the colours that you can extract from that, knowing that because you have this, that these colours are going to work really, really well for your front door. So let's just take this colour here. Let's hit select. Okay, we might do another one because I should have deleted that before I did that. Not very clever of me here. Here's something I prepared earlier. Right. Okay, so now I hit save my colour. Oops. And then I can name it whatever I wish to name it. So I'm going to call it front door project. Okay, the next thing I can do is hit save my colour. So now what it does here is it brings me to this screen here. I have the ability to order a test. Oh well, here we go, continue shopping, but order a test pot. As you can see down there, I've actually just popped one into my cart. Order in store, what it does is it populates a QR code. The QR code contains all of the information, or if you like, the recipe needed to create this colour. As you can see there, it also says share. So I have the ability to share the colour across all of my social media channels. I can airdrop, I can text, email, etc. So, you know, you can certainly get that colour out there. It's fantastic. What I can also do is, and this is what I really love, I can hit explore colours. So this is where you can change your colour. You can intensify the colour, so I can take it up dark, or I can dilute the colour and lessen the intensity and take that colour right down. And the next thing that we can do as well is, if I go back, we can go into combinations, and it brings up a colour palette of colours that are designed to work with the colour that you have created. That is how easy it is. Now I do want to show you, I'm going to just hit the C here down in the middle, which will take me to the colours that I have previously created. But I'm also going to hit projects. So now the app, if everybody out there has been watching and has the app has been recently updated to now include projects. So the fantastic thing about that is you can create colours for different dwellings, different rooms, etc., etc., and create a project folder. As you can see here, I have 4 folders. So I started off with, here we go, these are the front door colours that I created that I showed you earlier on screen. And then I lessened the intensity of a colour and I've popped that into another folder. I intensified the first colour, which you can see here. But then I also started using the combination colours, and there's just a few there. So it's fantastic, and I'm so excited that they have put this project option in it, because it means that you can be working on many projects. You can now pop them into a folder and it's all sorted. And if anyone's like me that likes everything, I'm very anal and I love everything to be in its place, etc., this is fantastic. So that is how easy it is to use. I'll come back on screen. That is how easy it is to use Colorsmith to create all of your own colours. So as I said before, we used Colorsmith to create a colour from a brick, and as you saw from that brick I extracted 5 colours, and then I showed you where I heightened the intensity and lessened the intensity, so we had 15 colours. Now I want to show you, and I'm just going to hop back onto the laptop, I want to show you where, so as you can see on the top screen here where my mouse is going across, they are the original 5 colours that we created, and then I went into the combinations function. Hang on, I'm still on the wrong one. Let's go again. I tell you what, starting late and having technical difficulties has thrown me a bit, so I do apologise. All right, so as I said before, the top row here are the first 5 colours that we created with Colorsmith from the bricks, and then we went into combinations as I showed you how you could do just a moment ago. And for each colour that I created, I created or used 2 of the combination colours, as you can see here. So from this colour here, the below 2 were combination colours, and look at that. I mean, look at the colours that we can use with this brickwork for front doors. The same here, the next colour, the below 2 are again combination colours, and continuing on, combination here, combination and combination. It's fantastic. That is just amazing. So again, there's another 10 colours there that you can potentially use as a front door colour. It is that easy. So I'm going to quickly answer. I do have a question here, and then I'm going to come back and show you how, before we conclude, how I created some colours from a plant. It's very fitting for this time of year. So let's just come back on screen. Fantastic. Okay, Bronwyn, thank you very much for joining our session tonight. So I am in the final stage of my home renovation. I have chosen for the exterior cladding surf mist with aspen white for trim and the front door morning fog. Beautiful. I am stumped at what colour I should paint the roof and gutters. I'm going for the Hamptons look. The house is on the Gold Coast. Well, automatically, I think straight away, if you're going for that lovely Hamptons look and you're on the Gold Coast, you could certainly, if you wanted to, depending on whether you like the all-white look, you could certainly use surf mist for your, let me just make sure, you could certainly use surf mist for your roof and gutters, and I think that that would look fantastic. Now let me just have a quick look here as well. So we've got morning fog, we've got surf mist, aspen white, beautiful. Just going to have a look here for morning fog, just bear with me everybody. And we'll see what else we can pop with that. Okay, oh, what have I got? 73. Wonderful. Oh yeah, oh, beautiful tone. Beautiful tone. Let me just see here. And aspen. Here we go. Okay, roof colour. Ah, hi Natasha, thank you. You're taking Colorsmith to the river on the weekend. I love the app. Isn't it fantastic? Oh my goodness. I take the app everywhere I go. The amount of colours I have created is ridiculous. Sorry, I'm just looking for here we go, my Colorbond colours. And I'm sure that if you're taking it to the river, you will be able to create some beautiful, beautiful tones. I created a gorgeous colour that I called Coastal Dusk, which was a beautiful dusty pink. And I actually took a photo walking our dogs with my daughter down near the beach. And it was, sorry, I'm talking and thinking, the sun was just starting to set and the colours in the sky were magical. And so I took a photo and captured one of the colours. And whenever I put that on display, everybody loves it in store. So it's a winning colour. Okay, I'm just looking, sorry about that, knowing that we are doing a Hamptons feel. You know, you could with, I'm just wondering, Bronwyn, you could actually, I'm wondering whether you could have a look at wind spray. Depends. I guess a question for you, Bronwyn, are you wanting a light or a dark roof? There's a good question, because, and when I say dark, I'm not talking about having, you know, like something like night sky. Obviously that's extremely dark, but are you wanting a light or a dark feel? I understand with Hamptons the look that you're going for, but I'm just looking at morning fog. I'm just wondering whether shale grey, what have we got? Aspen, front door morning fog, or you know, you could also, talking, if you're going to use morning fog and for your front door and you gloss that up. So I'm thinking as well, have a look at shale grey. Actually, don't go wind spray. It might be a little bit too much. I would look at shale grey for your roof and guttering. That sits really well with the surf mist, but also with your morning fog for your front door. And I know that if you gloss it up, it's going to intensify that colour a little bit. So that could work really, really well. So yeah, I'd be inclined to have a look at shale grey. Yeah, light roof. Thank you for coming back to me. Yeah, definitely have a look at shale grey. I think that that's going to work quite well. If not, if you're not wanting that look, then have a look at surf mist. Look, you can't go wrong. And I do believe that sort of being Gold Coast, etc., having, you know, almost that all white sort of look works extremely well. All right, do I have any other questions? I do have one more question. I'm just going to bring that up onto my screen so I can answer that tonight. Oh, where are we? So I do have a question from Kate Thorne. I'm hoping that you're listening. If not, I'll pop this into the feed afterwards. So you're wanting some help. You have, what do I paint the other walls in my room? This is a wallpaper we have for the wall behind our bed. So it's a beautiful, so that everybody can understand what I'm talking about or can sort of visualize what I'm seeing here. So you have a beautiful navy wallpaper which has a beautiful pattern through it in copper. So I guess the question is, are you wanting colour on the other walls, or are you wanting to keep it relatively neutral? So given that you've got copper and that you've got the navy, I'm personally thinking that if you were going to keep it relatively neutral, and immediately I'm thinking about White House, Taubmans White House. Let me just have a look. I'm just thinking how that would work with your copper. Where are we? Let's just have a quick look. I probably should bring this up on the screen for you. You know, if you go to www.taubmans.com.au, and I'm going to bring that up now, because then you can see the colours that I am referring to as we go along. And I'll just see, just bear with me a moment. Here we go. Beautiful. So let me just, I should have done this earlier. Alrighty, so I've gone to www.taubmans.com.au and I will show you what I have done. So when you do that, you are brought to a page that looks like this. You can go down then to paint colours. And the fantastic thing about our website is that all of the colours have been grouped, if you like, in families. So it makes it really easy to browse your way through colours. But what you can also do is, if you know the name of your colour, you can hit the search function, as I'm going to here, and I'm going to pop in White House. Here we go. Just bear with it a moment. It's just taking a moment to come back on screen. So wonderful. And what they do is they've made it so that you can visualize. So there are lifestyle images here. So we've got a bedroom, an office, a bathroom. But then if you go to the last one, it gives you a solid block of colour so you can see what we're talking about. Now, I'm looking at this thinking that that's going to work beautifully with your navy wallpaper and also with the copper pattern that it has in it. What I would suggest you do though is, and I always say this when we're talking about any colour, is to get yourself a sample pot and get yourself a large piece of cardboard. Now, most, for example, I'll say Bunnings stores. Most Bunnings stores, when the paint arrives, it arrives on a pallet, and in between the pallet they have pallet liners or layers of cardboard, if you like. Now, when we talk about looking at colours and we're looking at the colour within its environment, what I suggest you do is, as I said, a large piece of cardboard. We want to look at about 1 metre by 1 metre. Get yourself a sample pot, brush out 3 coats of the colour onto the cardboard, and obviously once it's dry, move it around the space that it's going to live in, and you pop it up near the ceiling, put it down near the floor, etc., and you'll see how the colour is going to work. Do it in natural light and also of an evening under the artificial light so that you can see how it works. I can't recommend that enough, because when we start to use whites, whites tend to play very differently within your environment as opposed to Jane's down the road, etc., etc. And I know from experience and talking to people in store that, somebody's colour looks fantastic in their house and they're like, oh, I'm going to use that, and then they're disappointed. Because when we talk about whites, depending on light, depending on flooring, and also the furnishings that you have around, all of those can influence the colour. So it's really important to trial it within its own space. And I like the idea of putting it onto a piece of cardboard. It makes it mobile, but it also means if you're painting it on a wall that's pre-painted, that colour there is going to try and compete with what's already there. So at least if it's on the cardboard, you've got a little bit more control with it. So that is the best tip that I can give you when it comes to looking for colour. Now I know that we have another question here, and I guess okay, hang on. Righty-o. So, Madeline, thank you very much for joining our session tonight. Your question, or hey, we are painting out the roof of our brick late 80s home monument. Okay, we're also thinking of doing the guttering downpipes the same. Do you have any recommendations of tones that may complement for the garage door? We also have some cladding on our sunroom, currently off-white, and trying to think of colours for this. Thanks. Okay, I guess the first question that I'm going to ask you is what tones are in your existing brickwork, because we probably want to take that into consideration, because if you've got a lot of blue or you've got a lot of orange, etc., etc., before I go recommending, and automatically I think of when we talk about using monument, introducing some beautiful greys can work really well. But then when we talk about greys, there are so many, I like to put greys into 4 categories. So you've got a grey, which is a brown-based grey. Then you've got a red or a purple-based grey. You've got a green grey, and you've got a blue grey. Now the green grey is what I like to refer to as more of a neutral, and a really easy tone of grey to work with. However, if you can just give me a little bit more information, I would be more than happy to assist you. Okay. You know what? I think that is just about... Oh, okay. Sorry, I've got another question here. I do apologise. What are we asking? Adil, thank you very much for joining us. Hi, can you please advise how to prepare the interior walls, as we have a wood heater and the paint needs freshening up? Or is there a paint where I do not need to, excuse me, prepare the area, as it is quite large? Much appreciated. You know what, before anybody embarks on a painting journey, so to speak, it's really important. Preparation is the key. So, and I guess before you start painting, the first thing I would recommend that you do, if you've got any holes, etc., that you need to, obviously you're going to fill and sand, but the best thing, or the one thing that you really want to do, is to wash your walls down or clean your walls with sugar soap prior to painting. And then you're going to fill any holes, sand, and then if you need to go over any holes or repairs, using something like 3-in-1, and then using your Endure interior Broadwell paint. So preparation is the key to any job, and especially if you're wanting a really good end result. And along with the preparation, I can't stipulate this enough. When you are painting, you know, using a really, because our products are fantastic. They're really high quality, and especially the ones that I've mentioned tonight. And, you know, I've used all of our products. I love all of our products, and the ease of being able to apply, etc. But the one thing that we need to be really mindful of as well is to make sure that we use a really good quality brush and a good quality roller, and that's going to help us achieve that fantastic finish. Okay, so that's going to conclude our session. I will continue answering any questions, further questions off screen. So I'll come back on now. I would really love to thank everybody for joining us for the past year as we've been going on with these sessions. Look, it's been great to be invited into your homes via your laptops, etc., and assist you all with your colour queries. Look, we have thoroughly enjoyed it. I know I speak for myself and the team that we have here as well. We're going to reconvene in February, so we're going to take a break over a couple of the summer months with a bigger and better 2022. Certainly, if you do have any questions, you can keep popping them into the feed and they will get answered. So, you know, we hope that you have a very safe and Merry Christmas and an extremely Happy New Year. As I always say, you know, stay safe, everybody. And as always, happy painting and good night. See you later.